Hey, you're looking good today. This is Frank in the Brazil Times newsroom, and here's what's happening. In the Monday edition of the Brazil Times, Clay City graduate to appear on MTV series this Tuesday. Clay County residents who tune in to MTV's Fear Factor show on Tuesday may see a familiar face. That's because Carmella Roeschlein, a 2012 Clay City High School graduate, will join her best friend and roommate on the show that attempts to challenge contestants to confront their fears, be pushed beyond their comfort zones, and take action against some of their biggest stressors. The episode, which airs on MTV at 10 p.m. Tuesday, is titled Once Bitten, Twice Trapped. That ought to be very interesting. So congratulations to Carmella Roeschlein, and I know that all your folks in Clay County will be interested in seeing you on that show come Tuesday. Well, bow fishing is not for folks who like to sleep at night, at least not the way Tanner Webster and other people do it. Webster was featured in the Brazil Times in March 2016. Then his interest lay in all kinds of outdoor activities, from hunting with a bow and arrow to taxidermy. At age 15, he's still an outdoorsman at heart. Now he has his own internet TV show. It's called In the Blood. That's seen everywhere the World Wide Web reaches. Tanner has received comments from Florida and other places as far afield. He's also on the pro staff for Quick Draw Outdoor Gear, a company that makes bow fishing supplies. And on Saturday night, Tanner was taking his bow fishing boat out to compete in the first bow fishing tournament sponsored by Jack's Bait Shop. That's at 2799 West County Road 950 North. That's just west of George Craig Park. And you can read more about that bow fishing tournament in today's edition of the Brazil Times and thebraziltimes.com. John Rogers is here. So is Ann Bradshaw. Glad to see you folks today. Police say a Brazil woman died Saturday after crashing her vehicle in northern Vigo County. Rhonda L. Payne, age 41, succumbed to her injuries at Union Hospital in Terre Haute. The Vigo County Sheriff's Office reports that Payne was driving her 2005 Ford Escape east on Kyle Avenue, which is in northern Vigo County near its borders with Clay and Park counties, when she veered off the road and struck a tree. She was transported by TransCare ambulance to Union Hospital. The Brazil Concert Band will present Father's Day Dream Trips at 8 p.m. Sunday in Forest Park. Yes, hey, Father's Day's coming up. We want to remind you of that. So you'll want to maybe think about taking in the Brazil Concert Band concert this Sunday night. Let me see. It says, take Dad to France with Les Miserables. See what I did there? I pronounced it correctly. Including At the End of the Day, I Dreamed a Dream, Master of the House, On My Own, and Do You Hear the People Sing? While in France, he deserves Souvenirs of Paris by Morton Gould. Okay, so a lot of other things going on with the Brazil Concert Band concert this coming Sunday. You can read the whole program in today's edition of the Brazil Times. Hey, Brian Deacon's here. Hey, Brian. Good to see you today. State Representative Bob Heaton will be the guest speaker when the Clay County Republican Club meets at 7 p.m. June 19th at the Kennedy Crossing Bingo Center. The public is invited to attend. Heaton was raised on a farm in rural Clay County, which has been in the family for more than 120 years. He attended Corey Elementary and was a star basketball player for Clay City High School, and then played for Indiana State University, and was a member of the famous 1979 NCAA Division I championship finals team. Do you remember when Bob played basketball? I didn't live around these parts then, but boy, I tell you, a lot of people do, and he had a really great career in basketball. Evelyn Brown's here. So is Bob Hutchins. Glad to see you folks today. Anyway, he's going to be speaking. Bob Heaton's going to be speaking to the Clay County Republican Club at 7 p.m. Monday, June 19th. So I'm sure you'll want to be there for that and hear what he has to say. If you're going to be out and about, and I hope you can be, city officials say a portion of Hendrick Street in Brazil will be closed for about a month to allow for sewer replacement. Starting today, Hendrick Street will close from Walnut to Sherman Streets to allow for the work. The Harmony Town Council has rescheduled its meeting for July because of the Independence Day holiday. They will meet at 7 p.m. Wednesday, July 5th at the Harmony Community Center. And also, as we mentioned last week, I think we mentioned it, we should have, Clay City Town Council is not going to meet on July 4th either, and they have rescheduled their meeting as well. Well, let's see here. Open up the page. We got a lot more inside, and a lot more. I'm not reading the whole story to you on these things, of course, but just to kind of give you the headlines of what's going on. A steady stream of visitors wandered around the 43rd completed project of the clay building trades students Sunday during the open house at Clayview Estates, the newest addition located at 1776 East Don Miller Court. Had a lot of people interested in the kitchen area and the custom cultured marble walk-in shower in the master bath, while many others opened the dual patio doors and ventured out onto the private patio and the quiet backyard. Now, how do we know it was a quiet backyard? I wonder. Maybe the birds weren't chirping. Maybe it wasn't hailing or anything like that. But it was quiet when the Brazil Times was there. Vigo County, potato. Anyway, a Vigo County jury found a Terre Haute man guilty on Friday in the August 2016 murder of Brazil's Ashley McMichael. Larry Paul Prowse III, age 33, was also found guilty on the other charges against him in the case in Vigo Superior Court 6, including felony counts of arson, abuse of a corpse, and altering the scene of death. McMichael's body was reportedly found by firefighters responding to a house fire on North 24th Street in Terre Haute on the morning of August 21st, 2016. And let's see here. Got a lot more for you. State news inside. On the opinion page, Dr. Larry Bouchon, our 8th District Congressman, has a column about making progress in the fight against opioids. You know, he spoke about that when he was in Brazil not too many months ago, and how it's really become an epidemic with the opioid prescriptions just really, really blooming and blossoming and just expanding at an alarming rate, really. Opioids is a class of pain fighters, but the worst of it is it can include opium, and so that kind of gives you the idea of how strong those prescriptions are. But anyway, the congressman's very concerned about that, being a doctor, and he wrote an op-ed column in today's edition of the Brazil Times about the opioids. And this was very interesting, I think, when we were doing the This Week, That Year column in Clay County. For this week, June 11 through 17, this is one of the things we found. Hey, Harvey Roscoe's here. Good morning to you too, Harvey. It wasn't yet summer, but two Supreme Court justices, U.S. Supreme Court justices, got hot under the collar and began a feud, quote, such as the staid old court never has experienced since it was founded in 1789, wrote the United Press. The ramifications conceivably could include impeachment proceedings against one or both of the brawling members of the nation's highest tribunal. The feud was reported to have been smoldering for more than a year. And I just thought that was just terribly interesting. The two justices involved in that fight were Robert H. Jackson and Hugo L. Black. I don't know what happened to Jackson, but I've heard of Justice Hugo Black, and you can read more about that in the opinion page of today's Brazil Times. We also have a couple neat old advertisements for you, display ads. One was announcing the Brazil ice cream store moving from 539 to 531 East National. 531 East National. Now that sounds like an interesting number. I really think that is an address that we ought to investigate. Anyway, it was going to be the home of Vikings Good Ice Cream. And we also have a big display ad for Mendenhall's Pharmacy. You remember Mendenhall's Pharmacy? They were promoting Father's Day gifts. And that year, 1946, Father's Day came on Sunday, June 16th. They sold pablum, 19 cents and 39-cent sizes. SMA powder, 94 cents. Something called Cerol, 21 cents, or Carol, I'm not sure, it's C-E-R-O-L. Dextry maltose, all kinds of interesting things. Baker's modified milk in the 19 cent and 85 cent sizes. So anyway, you can look at the cool advertisements from 1946 and find out more about those Supreme Court justices that decided to brawl. It doesn't say if fists were actually involved, but it does say they were brawling. So I thought that was interesting. And I got to look at my kids. Okay, Dennis the Menace says, I promise to be good unless I forget. I'm right there with you, Dennis. I can be good unless I forget. And then Billy, or is that Jeffy? Which one's the middle kid? I think that's Jeffy. Jeffy says he's crying, and he says, or sweating, I guess. I guess he's just perspiring. He says, Mommy, don't you think it's getting to be ice cream cone season? Yeah, I do too, kid. I do too. Anyway, that's what my kids are up to today in the comic pages, and you can read more about them there. And of course, on the sports pages, our sports editor, Kerry Fox, the hardest working man in sports, reports the resilient Knights fall just short in extra innings. Boy, wasn't that a heartbreaker? I followed Kerry's, I was following Kerry's social media reports on Twitter right up to the very end, and I thought the guys were going to be able to pull it off, but boy, they fought hard. Congratulations to our Knights for a wonderful, wonderful baseball season. And whatever else, they can't take away the trophy they got last year for state champions. So anyway, there's always next year, but you guys who are seniors especially, you got your whole lives in front of you, and I mean that. I'll tell you what, you get to be in your 60s, and you're going to say, that was a long time ago when I was in high school. And every day, you just have to go out there and make the best decisions you can and do the best you can, and it'll work out. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But we're proud of you. We're proud of you. And Kerry also reports that from Putnamville, Saturday was an evening of streaks at Lincoln Park Speedway as Derek Gromer, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Groomer, captured his second straight UMP modified win. Cullen Goodman added his third consecutive UMP Superstock win at the Putnamville Oval. A.J. Hopkins continues a stellar midseason run in the sprint car ranks with another victory at LPS. And Cody Wright won his second Bomber feature of the year. Randall Caldwell took the second Bomber feature of the night in just his third night in a dirt stock car. And Kerry has more in sports for you in today's edition of the Brazil Times and at thebraziltimes.com. Now also, we want to remind you that we have the Clay County Planner available to you. I tell you, people say there's nothing going on in Clay County. They ought to check out the Planner. We've got a lot of activities, interesting activities that you would be interested in, and you need to check it out so you know what's available to do right here at home. Oh gosh, let's see here. Got some local and national news about the president. We've got honor rolls in from Northview High School and Clay City Junior Senior High School. And let's see here. And then, of course, we've also got our classified ads. And they are always of interest. I know a lot of people look at the classified ads. Oh, hey, yeah, also, when you look at the jump page for the opinion page, we have a picture of World War I draftees. They loaded these draftees in the back of a truck. It looks like maybe a farm truck. And they were rolling down National Avenue in Brazil, and you can see them standing up in the back, and the crowd was all along the way, and they were congratulating them and cheering them on as they were getting ready to go to war during World War I. And let's see here. We also have some more local news. Congratulations, Don and Christine Lash Loftmiller. They were married June 18th, 1967 at Ebenezer Church, and they're celebrating 50 years of marriage on June 18th from 2 to 4 p.m. at Greenwood Mount Lebanon Church Fellowship Hall. Congratulations to them. And then we've got Rotary happenings down here. And Susan Thomas sent in those pictures, so you can check those out. People say to me from time to time, well, I know who you are, I see your picture in the paper. And I always tell them the same thing. Well, that's just a courtesy for the people of Clay County. It keeps the rodents away, okay? I figure if they print my picture enough, it'll scare everything away, I guess. Hey, I'm Frank in the Brazil Times newsroom. It's good to see you. Hope you have a wonderful week. Staunton Town Council scheduled to meet tonight. We're planning to be there. And we'll see you later.